hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and on Street Talk, we deal with the political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight is
Charles Thomas,
Dennis Burnside,
Paget Maynard.
We got lots to cover. So, Mr. Maynard,
Yes, sir.
We got this lying president. So, start off.
You mean Lionel? Well, I mean, with all due respect, his name should be changed to Lionel. If a man is lying in office so much, what is it? So how many? 2,000 times in a year?
Almost 3,000.
Almost 3,000 times in a year?
Yeah.
That's a name change.
Okay.
Okay? When you do great things, they change your name. Well, when you do these crooked things, it should be changed to. He's Lionel from now on.
Yeah.
So President Lionel, he has a vendetta against anybody that does not appear to be supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
Take, for example, we heard the announcement today, the resignation of the deputy up there. This is a career man, 20-some years experience. But Trump wants to know who he voted for. That's not your business. That's why they call it secret ballot. Who I vote for is my business.
Mm-hmm.
This is used against him. Secondly, his wife ran for a Senate seat in her home state. She was given some contribution by some pact, which Trump claims, and I don't know the facts of it, is associated with Hillary, a friend of Hillary's, and therefore she got this money from Hillary, $500,000, which of course the facts check prove him wrong. Now, why should anybody in office, and by the way, he was asking for Mueller to be fired, the special prosecutor. He wanted to prevent the Attorney General from recusing himself. He's now trying to get what's this guy's name, Way or something like that?
Chris Wray.
Chris Wray.
Yeah.
To get rid of the deputy, and he literally told him, hey, I'll resign. Where are we headed? I mean, there are lots of other things to fill in there. They'll come out after. Where are we headed if and when the president of the country is pushing to have FBI specialists and other special people, people in the business for years, when he's pushing for them to be out so that he can put in his
cronies.
Yeah.
cronies
Yeah.
Oh, he's looking for protection, and it's similar to what
Protection
happened from being
Russia thing.
from being impeached, from being indicted, from being revealed to be a traitor. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of what Nixon did. And
Wait a
Nixon,
second. Why did you say he's looking for protection? What?
he's literally looking for protection. He went to Comey. When Comey was the FBI director and asked Comey for loyalty.
Yes.
He could not get that loyalty. Comey wouldn't provide that loyalty, so he
kiss his
fired
ring.
him. He went to Jeff Sessions and told Jeff Sessions that he expected him to act accordingly. Jeff Sessions said, "Look, man, based on this Flynn thing that I know all about, I've got to recuse myself from any Russian investigation." Trump was outraged, and the reason he was outraged, and this is a quote, he said, "You're supposed to protect me."
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not understanding that the Attorney General works for the people. He doesn't
Yeah.
work for the president.
No,
And now you
but-
see this thing with McCabe, who was just forced out, I don't know, an hour ago. This guy was a number 2 under Comey. He is perceived by Trump. We don't even have any idea what McCabe's politics are personally, other than he's married to a Democratic woman. But Trump is so paranoid that he feels as if this guy, because his wife is affiliated with the Clinton campaign, because they had the same supply of money coming to them, that he's somehow going to be disloyal to Trump personally. It's not about the job that he's doing as deputy director of the FBI. It's about him being perceived as a threat to Trump, and Trump's looking for protection. It's very similar to what happened with Nixon. Nixon made some of the very same mistakes, and I think at this point, this late in the game, where we just found out that back in June, we found out this past weekend that Trump tried to fire Mueller back in the summertime. And he did it for reasons because he feared what was going to be divulged in this investigation, which, by the way, let's just call it what it is. It's all about money laundering. It's all about leaking information to the Russians in order to get his personal bills paid.
Yeah.
This was a man from the year 2008 couldn't get a loan in the United States. His faux empire was crumbling. He had to have a source of money somewhere, so he went over there and talked to Boris and Natasha in Russia, and he started getting their money, and it was all illegal oligarch money that was coming from their ill-gotten gains.
Did you see where this person was saying that Trump's son, Donald Jr., literally said, when I asked the question, well, you're not getting monies here. The bank's not lending you money. How y'all do? Oh, we don't depend on the banks here. We get Russian money. So, but now they're denying it.
Now, that wasn't Don Jr., that was the blonde one, the one who's even dumber than Don Jr., which is hard to beat. He said that. He admitted, he said, oh, yeah, we get all the money we want from the Russians. And so,
All
man.
right, excuse me for using
That's Lionel too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Trump Jr. and the blonde, I forget his name. They're just dumb men. Eric. They're just dumb. They're just dumb as rocks, man. They just don't have a lot of intellect. And that goes to people equating money as somehow being evidence of you being intelligent or being erudite or being successful. No, that just means you stole. It means you stole well.
And the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
No.
That's what they tell me.
No.
No, you say they stole this money. Now, if I say this man is a thief, what evidence do I have for that?
Okay, have you heard about the Klaczynski Act, I believe it's called? McClinsky or Klaczynski Act. Have you heard about that? What happened was you had Russians who were monetizing former Soviet Union assets, oil wells, gold mines, platinum mines, all these different hard assets that had real capital that had real capital value. Well, these guys were assigned control of these different things by Putin. Putin came to realize that they've got all the money, I've just got the title as president. And they're starting to act a little bit too damn independent of me. So what he did was he called this guy into a meeting. I forget his name, but he was defined as the richest oligarch in Russia. This guy was worth something in the range of $25-30 billion personally. Putin called this guy in. When his plane landed, they immediately arrested him. They put him on trial. They put him in an orange jumpsuit. They took his false teeth out, and he's sitting there looking ridiculous on national TV. And they drummed up some crime, any number of things he's probably guilty of, and put him in prison. This is the richest oligarch in Russia. The rest of the oligarchs are looking at this and saying, "Whoa."
Yeah.
So Putin put the word out. Every dollar you make, I get 50% of it.
Yeah.
I get half.
Yeah.
So that's when it all started. So you had this guy, and forbid me for not remembering his name because it'll come to me in a minute. But he was an American who went over there and he started a business that was based on computer software, et cetera. And Klaczynski was one of his guys. Well, he noticed an anomaly one day, and this is a long way of going to tell you how they steal. He noticed an anomaly in their computer system where there was something like $50 million in their account that wasn't supposed to be there. So he started doing some research, came to find out what Putin was doing and his boys are doing is they're siphoning off cash, they're parking it in convenient places until they could figure out what they're going to do with it.
Extortion.
No, it wasn't extortion.
Yeah.
It was just they was just siphoning it from you,
Just taking it.
and they want to get it to Paget overseas. But while they got it, before they could get over, they got to put it somewhere. So they put it in his account, and my account, and wouldn't even tell us about it. So if you paying attention, you look at it. Whoa, I got 25 more million in my account that I had. What's going on with this? This ain't extortion. So my man did an investigation. He found out what was going on. He told his boss, and his boss said, "I'm writing a report." He wrote an op-ed that was published in the New York Times about what was going on, and he told all of his people, "We got to leave Russia. We got to be gone because when this is published, this ain't gonna be safe."
Yeah.
Well, Klaczynski stayed. Well, the Russians arrested him. They put him in jail. They tortured him. They beat him. They starved him, and he eventually died. So my man, I wish I could remember his name because this is really not right because people watching this need to be able to research this. But anyway, he went to the U.S. Congress under President Obama, and they got this act called the Klaczynski Act passed, and it says that any ill-gotten gains anywhere in the world, I don't care if you go to Uzbekistan or Tahiti. If you stole that money, Mr. Russian oligarch, we're going to come take it from you. So now you got Putin here literally without leverage because anything that he was going to take 50% of is now in peril. It doesn't matter anywhere in the world. So, and he knows Hillary's just as bad.
Right.
So he starts going through all of this machinations 2 years before the election started to make sure that his boy Donald, who was already coming over there, sleeping in
Get him in
beds
the
with
pocket.
prostitutes,
Dressing like women.
buck wild, and he knew he could count on him to act right. So he started, they created the bots. They created all this social media disinformation. They started doing all this stuff to make sure that Donald Trump would become president. And once he became president, the plan was for him to end the sanctions. The night of the inauguration.
First phone call.
He hadn't even been sworn in yet. Finley's calling the Russians, telling them, "Yeah, man, don't even worry about these sanctions. We taking this away." So that's what it's all about, money. So the obstruction of justice piece of it is Trump trying to keep them from finding out about the money because he's illegitimate. He's not a legitimate businessman. He's not a legitimate president. So think about it. If you've got Trump here saying to them that you can't, he told Mueller, you guys may remember this. He said you can't investigate the money. You investigate the money, that's a red line. And the whole thing's money. Mueller responded by hiring 14 agents who did nothing but money laundering investigations under RICO acts. Trump's in trouble. Trump's dead to rights gone.
And besides, I'll give you one simple example why you could say he's a thief. And yes, they might come after me. Yeah, I could go back to St. Some people wouldn't have any other place to go. But when you hire somebody to do a job for you and then refuse to pay them, that's stealing. You stole their labor and you stole their money. So you're a thief.
Well, he's been that way his entire life. He's famous for not paying small. That's what really amazed me, Paget. When you look back at the election, man, just here in Lansing, I'm out to tell you, we're in the Y locker room and you see guys who work at GM or guys who, work for a living. And they're talking, I'm going to vote for Trump because he's for the good, he's for the common man. Come on,
Well,
bro.
what
Yeah.
comes
Do
out?
you read?
Yeah.
He's famous for stiffing vendors like the people who bring flowers to his wedding or
Right, right.
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
who bring food to the wedding or put a roof on his house. He's famous. I'm not
Right.
paying you.
Yeah.
He told one woman who had just started her business
Yeah.
as a
She was the
caterer.
to the wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
He said, "Look, I ain't gonna pay you that 30 grand because the publicity you got
Yeah.
from doing the Trump thing is
Yeah.
worth more than that." It didn't pay.
No.
Didn't pay.
He's famous for this.
Yeah.
So that's a small scale
Because
thief. But I'm talking about
nobody-
the international thievery
You
that he's
see,
worried about now.
Nobody stood up to him yet.
Oh,
Well, one day
you had
well,
people
he's
stand
gonna
up to him.
do that to the wrong person.
No, he's
Well-
had people stand up to him,
well-
and they go into these meetings with lawyers, and he has to testify under oath. Then, and if you've ever seen some of the videos of it, all of a sudden Trump, who says, "I've got the world's best memory, I'm a brilliant
Yeah, oh, yeah,
genius,"
yeah, yeah.
all of a sudden, I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
my glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's under subpoena,
Right.
and he's got to testify under oath. Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
he's been doing this
yeah,
for a long
yeah.
time.
He's supposed to know more than the generals know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
when it came to the Russians, he got way in over his head because
Yeah.
now you're talking about international money laundering,
Yeah.
big time crime, and he's looking at things that could get him locked up for
Yeah.
life.
He sold his soul.
Right. And the thing about it is that
What's that? The lights on.
the thing about it is that we've got some people who off a little bit, but when I listen to Satan Station out of Detroit, it just really hurts me that we got blacks who voted for him, and in 1976 they had to go to court because this man wouldn't let blacks move into apartments there in Jersey and New York.
New York.
So
Yeah.
he's a thief.
You know,
He's a racist.
yeah.
You know, the racist part don't bother me really. I expect that. That's like being upset that the flag of the United States is red, white, and blue. Racism is
Yeah.
baked into the crust of this
system.
country.
Yeah.
you know, that's like being upset.
It was built on racism.
Yeah, that's like being
but-
upset that that Thomas Jefferson had slaves.
But it upsets me that we got blacks, you know.
Well, what did Malcolm say? 1962, 63, we was on
63,
national TV,
63.
and he was debating a coon,
Yeah.
and he said, you know, they always got Toms like you.
House of Nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can
Oh, yeah,
find you guys like you are always available.
Yeah.
You always going to be apologizing for what massa does, and this is no different. You got black folks. Look, hey man, you got who's those Amarosa, Coonarosa that just got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got those two Diamond and Pig Feet down there who
Yeah.
big mouth women at the beauty shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got my man who in the sunken place, Dr. Carson.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna find coons
Yeah.
and toms,
Yeah.
man. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just then it just, but I guess it goes back to show the reason we at the back of the line.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, maybe.
we are our own enemy. You know, because we're trying to please the master.
But I don't think you can say that we are our own enemy or at the back of the line because of black support for Trump. I think Trump's approval rating among African Americans, this is a historical fact, is
Yeah,
less than
that-
1%. Less than 1%. So even those coons who voted for him in 2016 now regret it. So yeah, man, that's just
If
gonna
he
be.
call him on the phone, they get on the first plane out of here.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's kick in something else here. Trump, you say he is scared now. Mueller is closing it. And they say, oh, well, we've been fully cooperative. We turn over so many documents. We allow them to talk to someone. You didn't allow them to talk to these people, number one. But something else coming out now. You mentioned the chairperson of the Intel Committee in the House, Nunes.
Yeah,
He has this memo he wants to put out
right.
with very, very protective information.
It's ridiculous. It's
They-
ridiculous what he's doing. It's laughable.
They're asking them, don't do this until we at the Justice Department get a chance to look at it and make a decision. They are running forward, having a vote today as to whether or not to release this information. And on top of that, now the president has 5 days to respond. If he doesn't, it goes. Now, let me ask you the question.
But before you go on, keep in mind, they don't want to release anything but the memo that Nunes wrote. They don't want to release
Yes.
the underlying, the work product that the memo is predicated on, because if they do that, they'll find out that the memo actually is 80 degrees opposite of what the work is actually saying.
Yeah.
In other words, they don't want to be caught in a lie. So they want the memo out there for propaganda reasons.
Exactly.
But they don't want the truth behind it. Now you've got Nunes, who's the GOP House Intelligence leader on this thing, and he's supposed to be recused.
Yes.
Ever since back in
yes.
January when
Yeah.
he was playing those
Yeah.
games with Finley.
Yeah.
And then you've got Adam Schiff, the Democrat. And Adam Schiff and one person under him, just like one under Nunes, an assistant, has read that memo and all the work product. And Adam Schiff can't say what he knows because it's classified,
Right.
other than to say, come on, man,
Yeah.
this ain't even close to what it's all
Yeah.
about. So Nunes has written a memo that he is hoping that sounds as if it can free up Trump from some of these charges of
Collusion.
no. This is about intelligence gathering,
Oh,
but make it look like there's something else going on here that the
Oh, that's
FBI is
because of
doing
the
dirt.
memos
Now,
between
now the
these two people.
FBI hasn't seen the memo that Nunes wrote.
Right.
None of the Congress or the Senate has seen this memo
No,
that Nunes
no.
wrote. They say Trump hasn't read it, and I believe that because A, he's illiterate, and B, he's lazy.
Yeah.
But he supposedly doesn't have access to it if he wanted to. But here's what's going on. Nunes is coming up saying that Ahmad didn't rob that bank. As a matter of fact, Ahmad was running towards the bank to stop the robbery when you caught him out there. That's what he's doing. And they say, wait a minute, man, we got all these eyewitnesses said he had a gun. He pulled it out. He dropped a note. He was running out there, got in the getaway car and left. You won't let us release all this information because it's
Exactly.
classified.
Yeah.
But this memo you wrote on it, which is also classified, shouldn't be released without releasing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing.
The
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to do that because they're desperate, and it won't work. But they're desperately
Yes.
trying to find some way to block,
Cover it up.
obstruct the
Yeah. Oh,
justice
yeah.
of
It
of
comes
Trump.
down to obstruction.
It's
Yeah.
obstruction of
Yeah.
justice.
and
Yeah.
the Democrats are now putting out their own memo. They have written their memo in response to
That-
show
from-
the truth of it.
From Adam Schiff.
Right.
Yeah.
And anytime this goes through, people are going to see, oh, they're trying to frame Trump. Well, you can't frame Trump. He's already framed.
Yeah.
He has framed himself by his attitude,
And
his
his-
own words, and
yeah.
everything.
And you know what we do know about this intelligence gathering scandal? Because it all emanates from the FBI. It's supposed to be the
Yeah.
FBI
Yeah.
is bad. You know, that's where Comey.
That's where they're trying to shut it
and
down.
that's where a man just got forced out a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
The FBI is bad. FBI, you can't trust
Yeah.
the FBI. Here's what happened. You had two mid-level agents, a man and a woman, both married, having an extramarital
Yeah.
affair with
Yeah.
each other. And in the course of this extramarital affair, they were texting each other back and forth, and they were talking stuff about Trump,
Yep.
calling him names, calling him stupid, calling him dumb, but they were also talking about Hillary. They were talking about Hillary's daughter. They were saying that Bernie Sanders voters was stupid if they I mean, they hated everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Trump they criticized. And one thing they said was they had a party where they made a mock Putin calendar
Yep.
with him without a shirt, you know, him riding a horse, his macho man. And they're making fun of Trump
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
you know, he's Putin's butt boy.
Yeah.
And they say in that, oh, yeah, well, we better wait for the secret society meeting to get this calendar out there.
yeah.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Well, you had this fool from one of these senators, I think he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
And he's secret society.
yeah.
He just
Oh, we
popped
got
it
some
off as if
secret
he had-
stuff
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah.
and he knows he's lying.
Yeah.
So now so they said, okay. And in Ice to Cake, there was about 50,000 texts missing because the FBI went from a Android platform
Just
to an
change the
iPhone
system.
platform, and they lost about 50,000. And so they said, see, they hid those
Yeah,
secret
yeah.
society texts. So the FBI said, oh wait a minute, here they are, and they
Yeah.
put them all out there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Fox News,
Yeah,
and they haven't said a word.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's what this whole thing is
They were
about.
ranting and raging over this.
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
But there was nothing, evidence.
No.
Look, man, you got to have evidence.
Right.
Okay? No matter what you're dealing with, evidence is all that counts.
Now, Padgett, here's something I don't have evidence for, but you tell me if you disagree with me. I think the reason why you're seeing Nunes and Brown and all these senators, highly paid because they're getting paid under the table. I mean, these guys becoming millionaires because of the way our election laws are written. Prestigious jobs, all of a sudden looking to quit or finding a way out and lying for Trump. But if you look at how the Russians operate, the Russians operate on a theory called compromise. I'm gonna find out some things about you that you don't want other people to know, and it could be that I don't know, you like watching porn when the old lady goes to bed, or you've been stealing money, or you got a mistress across town, or you got a little boy across town. There's something all these cats is trying to hide, and I really do think that Russian compromise has infected our political system because you see too many people making ridiculous position changes, 180-degree opposite, like you saw Graham do on this tax bill. That don't make any sense.
No.
I think that the Russians have really
Undermined.
dug deep enough to say to these guys, you play ball with us and we're going to tell on you.
And in fact, one guy last week, what's his name? Anyway, some lady, I guess that's a long time he had been having a relationship with. Now he's not going to run again.
Oh, that's a guy from Missouri.
Texan?
Yeah.
There was a Texan in it too.
How much? 2 minutes. Wow.
I mean,
but Trump's done.
Yeah.
Y'all should sleep well at night, man. This investigation is so far down now. Mueller has 4 or 5 different offices. They're looking at money laundering. They're looking at tax evasion. They're looking at obstruction of justice. They have teams who are bringing this stuff in. You've had Gates flip. You've had Flynn flip. You got Manafort up against a wall, who's Russian mob all the way. Trump's done. Trump's done.
The first guy was indicted.
Go ahead.
He flipped.
Oh yeah, you've got 4 guys who flipped already.
Yeah. But what is this doing to the fiber of America? And we stuck in the middle of this railroad track.
What do you mean what's it doing? They changed.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, now like the cover's been pulled off, the devil being exposed.
Well,
it's always been that way, man. It was exposed and they killed Kennedy, King, and Bobby Kennedy.
One of the things is that
9/11.
The thing where we used to be up here. Now everybody's spitting that. You can't believe anything come from America. No.
Right.
And they don't trust us anymore as a trading partner
No.
or a political partner
No.
too.
Yeah,
You see
guys,
Germany, Britain, all of them saying we
seconds
can't rely on the United
Yeah,
States
2
anymore.
seconds,
Stock market.
Yeah.
And just want to bring this out. Trump keep insisting there was no collusion. There's no evidence of it. And claiming that they have already said there is none. This is not true.
No.
Because Mueller has not
No.
said anything to anyone up to this point as to what the findings are.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.